Hey everybody, Chris Dunn here, and in this video I just want to say thank you. Thanks to everybody who picked up my pre-release version of my brand new book, Bitcoin, How to Trade It for Serious Profit, even if you're a complete beginner. And it was actually really crazy because we sold out of the first batch of these in 48 hours. It was insane. I was not expecting that to happen. And thankfully, my publisher was able to send us another shipment, a rush shipment. So everybody that got their book this week, you'll have that in a few days. So if you haven't already got your book, you can actually get a free copy. Just click the link below. And I've got several hundred more before we're out and before we go to bookstores and on Amazon. And all I ask is that you help me with the cost of shipping on this. But I'm really excited. This is my first book, and I just want to tell you a little bit about the story and how this book actually came to be, why I wrote it, and really the inspiration for it. So when I first heard about Bitcoin back in early 2011, at first I thought it was a bubble or like a Ponzi scheme or something, and I just kind of disregarded it. And then in 2013, I had a friend who was managing a hedge fund at the time who said, Chris, you might want to really take a serious look at this. And so I started studying it, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know if it's going to succeed or what, but I started dabbling in it. And then the later part of 2013 hit, and if we look at a chart here, you'll notice that the price of Bitcoin went from, about $100 to over $1,000. And I started trading it and took the very unpopular opinion at the time that Bitcoin was going to crash again. It had had several boom and bust cycles, but that didn't necessarily mean it was, a bubble or, just a passing fad. But whenever price rose that quickly, I noticed that there were a lot of good people that were investing in Bitcoin at really high prices, and I was concerned. So I started blogging and posting my trades and doing videos, and I warned about the downfall of Mt. Gox months in advance. And my goal was just because there were so many people new to the financial space that had never traded before or never really even invested in the stock market or currencies or anything like that. As a professional trader and as somebody who's been involved in the markets for over 15 years, I was like, look, I really want to help some people out. So I started blogging and doing videos and posting all of my trade predictions and my trades on TradingView for everybody to see. And, basically over the past couple of years, if we look back at the chart, you can see we've had tremendous volatility. And it's easy to look back at this and go, oh yeah, you could tell it was a bubble at the time and that price is going to crash. But hindsight's always 20/20, right? And a lot of people got caught up in the emotion of buying. Maybe you did. Maybe you bought at high levels and you took a hit on it, or maybe you followed along with me and actually made money shorting it. A lot of people at the time, and still a lot of people don't know that you can actually short Bitcoin and make money as it goes down. And I was one of the first guys that was like publicly taking Bitcoin shorts. And so what ended up happening is we gained a following, and I launched the Bitcoin Trading Academy and the Bitcoin Wealth Alliance with the goal of helping people that wanted to, trade as a profession or treat it more than just a hobby or throwing money against the wall or essentially lighting it on fire. So my goal, my eventual goal is just to reach the masses by, printing a book to educate people on why it's actually smarter to trade than blindly buy and hope. So many people go into the financial markets or any market, gold, the stock market, real estate, and then they just have this like buy and hope mentality. Let me just buy, let me throw money at something and then hope it goes up over time. But there's a reason why that doesn't work. And people that know how to trade in and out, go long, meaning buy low and sell high, and then go short when price is coming down. If you understand how to do that effectively, you can make a lot more money than just throwing your money at the wall and chasing the herd. I like to think of myself as a contrarian, and right now, if we look at Bitcoin, you can see it's come off. We're now around the $200 mark, and there have been some big crashes over the years, many of which we've actually made money shorting as prices come down. And people say, well, isn't it bad that Bitcoin is down here, way off of its highs? And my answer is no, it's not bad. It was never supposed to be that high. It climbed too fast, too quick. And that's exactly what a bubble is when people are emotionally buying and chasing higher prices, thinking this thing's going to 10,000. I'm going to be able to retire just by clicking a button and doing nothing. Guys, that kind of get rich quick mentality doesn't work. It'll leave you broke, So my mission in life, and over the past several years, my focus, and now the thing that gets me up every morning is I want to help 100,000 people become financially independent. My story, if you don't know, is I barely graduated high school. I dropped out of college the first year. I failed every single math class since the 5th grade. And, if I can trade the financial markets, anybody can do it. And my goal is just to help people learn from my mistakes and my successes. I went broke in my early 20s, built a software company, made several $1 million, and now my wife and I trade every day, and we have a great community of traders. We have a community of futures traders, a community of stock traders, and now a great community of Bitcoin traders. And my goal is just to bring no bullshit education to the financial space, and really to anybody that wants to learn how to take control of their finances. And I don't have all the answers, but one thing that I realized is over the past several years, I've made relationships with very successful people, multimillionaire entrepreneurs, investors, traders, and innovators. And I'm like, man, I really know a lot of people that have done big things in the non-traditional route, that have gone an alternative path. A lot of people that haven't graduated high school, or people that, were very successful in the traditional path, like lawyers and attorneys that were told, hey, if you go this route, if you get this degree and this job, you're going to make money, you're going to be successful, and you're going to be happy. And then maybe they went into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for an education that got them in a job that they hate. And then they woke up and said, you know what? Shit, I hate my life. I hate this experience. That's what happened to me in my early 20s. I was pretty successful in the corporate space, was climbing the ladder despite having no college education, which is another myth that says you have to have a bachelor's or a master's to move up in corporate America. You really don't. But I made it, to pretty high management level in a publicly traded mortgage business, and was miserable. I had the big car or the big house. I built my first house when I was 19. I had the fancy car and truck, and I was like, no, this doesn't make me happy. And then over the years, I learned what true wealth really was, which is ownership over your time. I can compare somebody that makes $1 million but hates their job and works 80 hours a week to somebody who makes $100,000, which is still really good money, but has 100% autonomy and ownership over his time or her time and can travel the world. That person is more wealthy than the person that makes 10 times the amount of money than them because they own their time. And I always ask the question to people, like, what would you rather have? A $250,000 Lamborghini or a trip around the world? There isn't a right or a wrong answer. If you really like cars, that's cool. Go for that. But for a lot of people, and this is how I am, experiences are more valuable and more important than material stuff. So over the past year, my wife and I, you guys have probably seen these videos where we traveled around the world, went to 30-something countries in 11 and a half months, basically a year. And we've been traveling over the past 6 or 7 years. And I would rather drop $250,000 on a trip around the world than a car that I'm going to be bored with in a couple of months. But those experiences and those relationships and connections and adventures are going to be with us for a lifetime. So I guess, the purpose of this video, I know I went on a little rant, is, again, just to say thank you guys for getting the book and supporting me in this. It's been a really incredible journey. And, if you haven't got your copy, I'll put a link down. You can get your free copy before we go to bookstores and Amazon. And, my mission now is to bring you guys new and proven pathways to wealth. And again, I don't have all the answers, but I know a lot of people that have built wealth and built a life worth enjoying in non-traditional routes, or they went the traditional route and then they were able to get out of that, break free of that bondage, and really get into a life that now they're just super happy with. So that's my mission. That's what really, wakes me up really early in the morning and keeps me up late at night. And we've got some really exciting stuff in the pipeline coming down over the next couple of months. So if you're not following me on Periscope, or if you don't know what Periscope is, it's an app for your iPhone where I'm basically doing daily live streams. So I do a lot of these videos. You know, we do trading videos on Chris Dunn TV. We do interviews that I'm bringing you guys now, hangouts, and we've got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe. But even more importantly is these daily live interactions that I'm doing with people, and those are really cool. So download the app if you don't have it. Follow me. It's Chris Dunn TV. That's where I am everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook. You know, let's connect, guys. Let's move towards this mission of self-education, you know, bucking the system, finding your pathway to wealth, which there's no right or wrong answer. There's no, you know, get rich quick scheme or black box to make $1 billion. Let's talk about the reality of getting wealthy and living a life that's worth enjoying. All right. So I hope you guys like this video. Grab the book if you don't have it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again so much. Have a great one.